Welcome to the Figure Zone. Today we've got the Hot Toys 1/6 scale Hellboy figure. This is MMS527 from the 2019 movie starring David Arbor as Hellboy. Now, I enjoyed the movie. I don't know what everyone was all mad about. I thought it was a great movie. Very comic book style movie. And I enjoyed it. Check it out if you didn't see it yet. I just recently watched it not too long ago just to see what all the controversy was about, and I thought it was a pretty badass movie. They did a great job. And inside of here, we've got a little cool piece here, a little insert with the team who did all the fun stuff. And here we are, the giant trays full of stuff. Let's see what he's got. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Helps out the channel big time. Hit the like button if you're enjoying the video. Hit the bell notification if you want to be alerted to when more of my videos drop. Thanks. This guy's got a lot of accessories here, so let's go over some trays really quick. You get a couple cool little flame effects. We've seen this with the Ghost Rider before. I think they've used it a couple of times too. You pretty much take these things, stick them on a stand. Pretty cool idea. That way you get a little bit of fire going on. And as you can see, they're translucent. Very cool. You get 4 different ones. Place a couple, place them all. And over here you get his crown. This looks pretty frackin' sweet too. And we'll show you how this attaches in just a little bit. Again, looks very nice, made of the same translucent stuff. And here we have the interchangeable horns. Now, of course, this is when he picks up his Excalibur sword, and the horns, boom, grow. There's no magnet, unfortunately. You pretty much just shove these things in. That's unfortunate. I wish there was a magnet because they could have just made a super strong magnet, and this would have been easier. All right, next tray. For his next tray, we have his Excalibur sword. It's plastic, but it looks metal. They did a great job of like pitting it and putting little marks on it where it was striking another sword. The handle and hilt look really nice. Again, great detail going throughout this sword. Very cool. And over here, we have his samurai style kind of top knot piece. Now, this just plugs into the back of the head. And you're asking, what is this little plastic piece? We take the crown of fire over here, and there's like a little hole. And you pretty much, if I can find the thing, where is it? Just saw a second ago. Where are you? There it is. Pretty much line this thing up, plug it in there. Then this is going to plug into the back of his head, and it's going to float above his head. Very cool. I was wondering how they're going to pull that off, and that's how they did it. And if you don't want the crown floating above his head, which normally I'm not going to display him like that unless I had 2 of these, you get his basic top knot here that comes with him. And again, interchangeable, very cool. Over here we've got his Communicator. Nice detail on that again. Very cool. It's got a little clamp piece on it too, little clip, so you can pop this on his belt. We have 2 different style bracelets. These are like a softer plastic too, and these also will hide any kind of ball joint in the wrist. Got the cross one over here. Again, these are like rosary beads going all around them, and different bracelets that he uses throughout the movie that he acquires throughout his time. Very cool. Again, another cross all attached to this bracelet here, pretty much wrapped around his wrist. And over here we got 2 different versions of his Samaritan. Very, very cool. Very nice detail. Handle looks very cool. All plastic, but still looks pretty nice. He's got a little funny clip piece down here. Don't know what you can use that for. I don't think you can attach anything to it, but looks very cool. And the barrel right there. And you got the other version here. Now, he's got 2 of them because during a battle with some dudes who he thought was on his team, they kind of betrayed him, and he lost his weapon in a fight with those guys and a bunch of frackin' giants. So, very nice. Cylinder moves. It may pop out. I don't like popping out cylinders. If anybody has the Suicide Squad Harley Quinn figure, you pop that cylinder out, it never wants to go back in. Sometimes you need to blue tack it. Not doing that. So yeah, very nice. Next tray. Up next we got his stand right here. basic stand. I'm liking these stands. They take up less real estate and they kind of display. You pretty much got some options here. You can pop this thing in over here to have them a little more forward, or pop it over in here so you can have like a leg forward more so you can adjust. Pretty cool. I like that idea. It's very nice. It's got some texture to it also, so your figure won't slide. And it's got the basic up and down grabber piece. I always say check these little points here, because sometimes they're a little sharp and jagged, especially a lot of third-party ones. If they are, you can take like a nail file and just file it down really quick, so that way your figure doesn't get damaged. If you press this against legs or something like that, it might get caught. Especially on like Black Widow figures with the tight clothing, it can make a mess. And over here we got his trench coat, which looks pretty frackin' sweet. And underneath that, you've got his shirt. Now the trench coat looks very nice. It's very light, which is cool. And it's got some wireage down here, all along the side here, and all on the bottoms down here. So yeah, that's cool. Let's see if there's a wire inside of here. I don't think there's a wire in the collar, but it seems to stay up, which is good. And you got the back, you got it open because of course it's got a tail, so you can't have the thing down. So very nice. And over here we got his shirt. Now the cool thing about the shirt is it's got a piece of buttons over here. So I hate buttons on 1/6 scale figures, but I would prefer the Velcro. So pretty much here's the BPRD logo. Nothing on the back. And the cool thing is you just pop the head off, slide one arm through, and put the head through, and then put the buttons on. The shirt's cool, but he wore it for like 2 minutes at the end of the movie pretty much, so. And I'm not a big fan of buttons too. After a while the buttons tend to feel like they're going to pull off the material. So, and you get here, you get this little lightning-ish effect, which you can pretty much, you could attach him if you want, or you can pretty much just weave this thing through his sword if you really like to. You can pop this in here, weave that through there, and you can, I have the power, He-Man. Sorry, wrong figure. So yeah, you can pretty much do that. So, looks cool. A little lightning going on there. Let's see what else he's got. He's got this Hellboy backdrop. I never really take these things out of the plastic, but it looks pretty cool. You want to stand it behind him. It's got the basic little slot pieces over here. Just cardboard. They just attach these little points over here, and the thing stands up by itself. So, if you've got a space where you can push this thing out a good 4 inches, which is a lot, or you can just take this thing, fold it over, stick it in a detolf if you want. Cool. It's just pretty much hell melting, molten lava-ish stuff going on. And as always, don't forget to read your instruction sheet. This is a new body from Hot Toys here, so this is got some stuff you gotta check up on, like avoid direct contact of the shirt and coat with the figure for long periods of time, or else the color of the fabric may transfer onto the figure. So they're pretty much telling you if you put the jacket on, it's going to bleed onto the figure. So yeah, don't leave him in long poses, of course, because he's got a seamless body also. You can do some damage. Don't rub or wipe the body often. It may damage the body paint. So yeah, definitely check these things out. There's always something interesting you should know about range of motion on the figure, how to attach all the accessory, what his head can do, all the articulation, tail, how to put the jacket on. You got stuff of the weapons, how to clip on communicator, little lightning effects. Don't poke your sword because it'll hurt you. So yeah, cool. We have his Excalibur sword with the giant flame effect. That looks pretty freaking sweet. Very nice. So this is when he fulfills his destiny and picks up the sword. Very cool. You get an extra wrist peg, just one? Okay, I thought usually these comes with 2, but you get 1 wrist peg. Maybe they forgot to give me a wrist peg. I don't know. Hopefully it's okay. You get a couple different hands. Now this hand has the cool rosary beads on it, and it's got a little wrap going on there too. So a little bit different as opposed to the basic hand right here, which looks awesome too. And these things are pretty malleable too. They're pretty soft, which is awesome. We have a trigger finger for the gun. That one's a little bit harder. Again, the great detail. We have a sword holding hand. you get a fist, because Hellboy's got to punch people. And then we have the right hand of Doom's got interchangeable hand pieces with this too, which is pretty cool. And of course, this one is a fist. Very cool detail. Giant ball joint. Pop that thing home. And over here we got a sword holding hand. So you can hold the sword right there. And the thumb is a little malleable, but yeah, this is pretty soft here too, which is cool. So you don't have to worry about breaking the sword as you put it in there. You can pretty much get it in pretty easy. Sweet. And finally we have Hellboy in all his freaking awesomeness. Now, this guy is mother frackin' heavy, which is awesome. You can see he is freaking sturdy. I'm like, you can push here and it's just like you can feel he's freaking sturdy. He's not wobbling either. He's crazy sturdy. Let's take a look at that awesome head sculpt. There's the horns right there. And you can see the face. There's his eyes. Very nice. And he's got his hair. And on the back's where you plug in the little top knot piece going on there. You got like hair design going on the back. It's a rubberized body. You can definitely feel that once you get it. And again, it's got the seamless body going on up top. Possibly feels like there's some joints down here. So the detail on this belt looks very cool. It's all pretty much a plasticky feel. Everything is attached, which is good. You don't have to spend like an hour and a half attaching all these freaking pouches just to have them fall off on you in 2 seconds. Even these little bullet casings here are all attached, so very cool. And he's got his holster over here. Looks like nothing opens or anything. Even the rosary beads at the cross over here, it's all attached, so be careful that you don't pull on it. And here's his right hand of Doom. That is cool. And as you can see, some of the fingers are little wiries going on in there too, so you can articulate that a little bit, which is pretty awesome. Not that you need to make it into a fist, you just pop out the other one, but it's mostly for like an open hand kind of deal. But yeah, that looks really badass. You got his pants, basic, they're almost like a greenish, fadish, OD, blackish pants going on. Got the pockets on the side. I don't think any of those open, I wouldn't mess with it. And you got some combat boots down below. Great detail in those also. On the bottoms, you got some tread going on too, so very nice. And it feels rough down here too, so he's going to grip that stand big time and not freaking fall over. Nobody wants your figure falling over. And here's the tail. It's even got like the hair-ish line going from his back all the way down to the tail. And this is articulated also. I'm not going to bend it too much because it's a wire in there. Bending wires too many times, you know what happens? The wires go bye-byes. So yeah, very nice figure. This feels so sturdy. It's so freaking heavy. And up here, these were the little tiny things you got to pop off. We'll do that just a little bit when I exchange everything out. Very nice. Let's not wait till later. Let's see if we can pull these things off on camera. Now, oh, again, I wish these things were a magnet. And they're a little hard to get off. Can't quite get a grip on any of these things to pull it out. So there we go. You got to get underneath just a tiny bit and work the thing up that way. You may be able to use like a pair of pliers, but you got to put something over the tips of the pliers so they don't do any damage to the thing. And that's pretty much what you got when you open it up. It's got an actual shape in there too, so you have to line these things up perfectly or else they won't fit in there properly. So again, that just goes in there and it just pops back in. So it's in there pretty tight. You just got to get it off the first time. Then you can just push it down just a little bit and not push it down too far, so you got to sit there and frickin' struggle. Half demon and half human, known as the World Destroyer, Hellboy was summoned to Earth as a child by the mad monk Grigory Rasputin to help the Nazis win the war. He was eventually taken by the United States Army and raised by Professor Trevor Bruttenholm, which he called his dad. Now, Hellboy ended up working for the BPRD, which is the Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense. And this was a great movie. I'm totally digging on it. The figure has got so many different ways you can pose him. You can get two figures pretty much. For this version here, where Hellboy picks up the Excalibur sword, and fulfills his evil destiny and takes over the world pretty much. Or you can have him in this version, which is his basic version where he is a good guy pretty much. And, you know, the anti-hero wants to help his brothers and sisters, aka the demons and stuff, but at the same time doesn't want them to destroy the world. So, great figure. I had no issues with this figure at all. Everything was perfect. I wish the horns were magnetic. That would have been a little bit easier than pulling those things out. You got to kind of get underneath there a little bit and pull to get the horns out. That's the only real issue with this guy. Everything else seems to work rather well. And here he is with Constantine, doing little investigations together. The body on this figure is just fracking amazing. I'm totally loving it. He's got ratcheted joints, and I think he's going to stand the test of time. The rubber skin on top feels very, very sturdy. So, of course, if you leave it totally bent, you may have some issues. Eventually down the road, it may stick together, possibly if you have a high humidity area. But this thing feels really sturdy, and again, he's a hefty, hefty figure. And I'm totally digging on it. And let's hope that they make more figures from this movie series, because it looks like they may do a part 2. And if you watch the movie to the end, you see who shows up. So, very cool. Let's hope for more. Again, thanks so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button. It helps out my channel big time. Hit the like button if you're enjoying the video. And if you want to be notified when more of my videos go live, hit the bell notification. Thanks so much. Until the next video.